In my cool 1970s Jesus sweater that I totally love. Thanks, bro. My brother gave it to me. Is a quick overview about language. I'm in the process of writing a book about it, but screw the books. Some people don't buy books. Some people want to read books. So let's just do a really quick insight into how the universe speaks to itself. It speaks in dualities. It speaks in paradoxes. And when you're looking at the Bible and you're looking at any other text, you can read it from multiple, not just two, but like multiple perspectives. And you've got to be able to do that, not just to understand what you're exploring, but to comprehend the deeper meaning in what's going on in the universe as a whole. It's so much bigger than you. It's so much grander than your imagination can sometimes comprehend, but it can totally comprehend it because you're a piece of it. So my part in this right now, this quick little video, is to say you got to start. You don't have to, but it's more fun and it's more helpful to redefine your words with paradoxical meanings. For example, when you read the word me written by someone else, don't see them as outside of you. See them as your body talking to itself. See them as your soul having a kind of psychotic conversation with itself. Just that one word. If you can take the word me and understand it as a physical manifestation, okay? Go to the Bible and do this. You'll have so much fun. Take the word me and understand it as the physical body trying to explain to you that it has a consciousness in and of itself, and it uses, people call them prophets, people call them scribes, I don't know, they call them all kinds of things. But the funny thing to me is people don't even bother to ask themselves, who are they talking to? Who are they accessing? What's that voice? There's always the voice in the Bible. Well, there's always a voice. There's the voice. There's one voice because there's one consciousness and it's having a self-conversation, figuring itself out. So when you start to see the baseline, I would call it a baseline duality. There's the physical body, the heart, because it supports the entire body. Having a conversation with the mind, because the mind is addicted like a crack addict to words. It's explaining itself to the mind. So you have this discussion constantly going on from the physical, what I would actually call non-physical, because the body itself morphs and evolves and grows. So it's when you're 2 years old, you're this body. And when you're 3 years old, you're this body. When you're 4 years old, you're this body. So you're constantly expanding and growing using non-physical energy, the light that feeds the earth, that feeds your body. It's basic physics. It's so easy. So this conversation has been going on forever. Go back to Egypt. You have the male and the female having these discussions. The female is always taking these risks. She's always trying to prove to the male that she's brave and she's strong. She's that heart. She's Hatshepsut. She's that pharaoh, that female pharaoh. And she's leaving obelisks and all this stuff. And then in the Bible, you have examples of the woman, female, Fe, iron. We already did that, right? The blood. Being brave enough to be the mother and facing the dragon and all these great stories. But what it really all boils down to is definitions of how the mind is kind of heartless. It doesn't have emotion, and it's consistently trying to comprehend just the simple, basic love vibration of the heart that supports it. And they go on and on and on and on and on, expressing in like almost one-upmanship constantly. Well, you see that out in the world, right? So when you're reading a text, just take the word me and understand that the heart is trying to communicate to the mind its way of existing, and the mind is using those words to take it in and literally let go and let the heart run the show, because the heart really does run the show. The heart's so much vaster and so much bigger and really is in control. But the mind is always reaching, I would say, for these methods of communication to leave a trail over the course of time throughout history for itself. So like in your next lifetime, when you're born again, when you wake back up, you have texts and songs and books and records to remind, to recollect, to remember how it works here on earth. Because each lifetime we fall back asleep. We're born anew. And there's my son, born anew in perfection, who thinks I'm ridiculous.
No, I don't.
So this little video is about read your texts and books in such a way that you can see through the definitions and let your heart tell you what it means, instead of believing what you were taught was a standard Webster's dictionary kind of idea of what a word means, because it's not really what it's intended to convey. There's a deeper meaning there. There's more to it. And Eli's going to attack the screen. So I'm going to check out now. All right. Love you guys. Questions or comments below, which no one ever does anymore because everyone's so over each other. What are we doing here? Tape? Here, have some tape.